Happy New Year, everyone. It's the New Year games, New Year's Day. I hope everyone's recovering after the festivities of last night. I've covered 3 of the games today. I've covered Wrexham, Blackburn, QPR, Norwich, and Sheffield, Leicester. I think they're all okay. I'd say the worst one. I mean, the Sheffield Leicester one. I think they were very dominant, but they were all good set of games. My first game for Wrexham Blackburn, the 12:30 kickoff. I predicted 0-0 because I thought Blackburn would just try and keep hold of the ball, keep it simple, kick it round the back. Hopefully, just get that 1 point because they've got all those injuries and Wrexham wouldn't be able to get hold of the ball and it would be really boring. But Wrexham jumped into that game with the excitement of a young toddler, and it was quite fun to watch. And Blackburn were rubbish, really. That's all to say from that. Next game, no. No, really, Blackburn were rubbish, and I've put here that they had all the energy of an old man's fart. They were just crap. They were really, really, really crap, and I don't know. I haven't watched too much Championship football of Man United fans, so I tend to watch a bit more Premier League type games. I don't know what I'm saying there. But Blackburn were rubbish. I don't know if that's what they're like every week, but they weren't good. But Wrexham had good energy. I think their attacking players and Sam Smith and Rathbone were very good. I mean, Rathbone looked right at home. Apparently it is his, from around there, so it is his home. But he looked right at home. His dad was watching. He had so much energy. He's my man of the match. As soon as it got to 2-0, I think Wrexham just shut up shop and said, I want to go home for New Year's Day. There was one good save, I think, from the Blackburn keeper at 57 minutes from O'Brien, but yeah, Wrexham didn't really want the third goal and they just killed the game. Blackburn had no teeth at all, and they just needed a goal, I think, and they just didn't have it. They looked rubbish. They had 2 okay players, I think, in Hadji. I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly. And did I say Baraji and Ahashi. Ahashi, I think, had good energy in making things happen. Whereas Baraji, I think, found more space, but he had no accuracy. And both of them had no accuracy. And Blackburn were just crap, really. Next game, QPR, Norwich. Come on, you R's. I'm a QPR. Well, I've been to 2 QPR games. I'd say it's the game, the team that I've had the most exposure to in the Championship. And I predicted 3-1 because I think QPR are good in attack. And Norwich are in the relegation area. And I think they could get one back. But yeah, I mean, Norwich really, really went into that game. They were both very lively at the beginning. They kind of matched each other's energies, but QPR looking to get set pieces and overloading with their strikers, 2 strikers, whereas Norwich looked better in open play. They were quicker, they were doing more first-time passes and first-time shots and stuff like that. The close chances from QPR just came from corners and set pieces and stuff like that. But they were both attacking well at the beginning. I think the first half was very 50-50. As I made a note. And Norwich got the first goal, and it was a really good goal. Jurasek, I think he's my man of the match because that cross just broke the tie. I think that's what this type of game needed, really. And yeah, he did it really, really well. The striker did it well to find that, I think, the space, and it was just a tap in. But that cross was really was so good, and I think he's my man of the match because that just broke the tie. QPR, and then when that first goal came in, Norwich just went really defensive, and it looked like Norwich had 10 men, and QPR had 11, and QPR were throwing everything and the kitchen sink. They overplayed everything. QPR, everyone I think wanted to be the hero kind of type football. Like everyone was just running way too long with the ball, and then they would lose it, or they'd take too many touches and lose the ball. Norwich would then just hold the ball, hold it up, slow down the game, and then Norwich got a second goal on a good counter attack. I think it was a bit unfortunate for the defender. The deflection causes the goal, and yeah, I think um, Norwich just had a good mix of attacking hard, getting the goal, and just shutting down the game. I think at the 67th minute there was a strike from Norwich that kind of sums them up. I can't remember who it was. One of the up front players. He noticed the goalkeeper was off his line. First time kick. I mean, it didn't score any goal, but it's quick, and that pressure just it can sometimes get you that goal. And although that time one didn't, they got their other goal. They got goals in the game. I think QPR were just overplaying it and trying a bit too hard, really, and that's something you can learn in life. Really, is don't try too hard. Get one goal and sit back. And then QPR did score a goal at the end, but way too late. At that point, it was a good shot. And I think it's what QPR should have be doing more earlier on in the game. But yeah, it's too little too late. And 2-1 to Norwich City. Now, last game, Sheffield United to Leicester. Sheffield just won the game, really. 2-1 I predicted because I thought Sheffield would win at home. Leicester, I think, have been a bit exposed at the back in terms of letting things in. But no, Sheffield just dominated the game. Brooks, man of the match. I put him. So did Sky. I think he looked up for it. He fought well for the ball just before the goal, just before the assist that he gave the goal to Cannon. Bamford, I thought looked fun, and I put him as most impressive player earlier on. I think that was before Brooks got the assist. I think Bamford looked like he was applying more across the pitch, whereas Brooks was looking more as an attacking threat. But yeah, I quite enjoyed the stuff, the fouls that he did. I think the early ones were a bit harsh. The last one was definitely a foul. And yeah, Leicester were bad in the midfield. And then Sheffield just dominated the game because Leicester were bad in the midfield. I think he's Fatanu for Leicester. I would not want him on my team, really, because those type of goals from shooting out miles outside the box towards goal, they look great when they go in, but when they don't, they just look like you don't know what you're doing. They look like you're just angry and trying to be a hero. And the second one he did, I think the first one when he did, I think it was 0-0. I can't remember off the top of my head, but the second one I made a note because the second one I think was worse, and it was when they were 2-0 down. If that's going in, I don't think it would have changed the momentum of the game. Maybe, but it's not really using the team, and I think 2-0 down if that went in. I mean, a wonder goal is great, but not in that game. And he didn't get the goal anyway, so I don't know. Maybe he was just trying to make something happen, but it didn't work. And also, I've got here on the 70th minute, they had 0 shots on target, Leicester. So really, a shot miles out the. Maybe if you got like a few on target, but they had 0 shots on target, and then he was doing all that. No, I wouldn't want him on my team, and I'd be nervous if he was ever on the ball. If he was on the team that I supported. I just put Brooks man of the match on one of my notes, which is pretty obvious because Sheffield were just dominating the game. I didn't make too many notes in this game because Sheffield just easy 3-0. I think when it got to 3-0, the final goal that Leicester did, making it 3-1, I think was just Sheffield kind of giving up a bit. They opened up a little bit at the back. The defence were doing a bit more in the second half, so maybe they just lost it a bit in terms of energy wise. But no, I think I think, yeah, I think it was more Sheffield giving up rather than Leicester being great. And those are the three games that I've covered in the new year. I'm thinking to do one a week because three feels like a load. And yeah, I think I'll try and cover teams that I haven't done. So I'll try and keep fresh teams each week. Keep it exciting, keep it fresh. Also, it'll get me up to date on the Championship. I haven't watched as much as I said. I'm a United fan and watched the Premier League, and I've been watching how bad United are being. And they might, who knows, they might be in the Championship sometime. So this channel might be a preemptive thing for that, and then I can just swap to a Man United fan TV in the Championship. But hopefully not. But yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. Weekly analytic of one game. I think I'm going to do things like predictions and stuff later on, and once I know a bit more. But hopefully, here's to a good year of Championship football. And Happy New Year to everyone. And I hope you're recovering well if you did go out last night. Or I hope you had a nice early morning if you went to bed early. Yeah, here's to a good year of football, and thank you and goodbye.